President Chairman.
Thank you. Yes. Well, and the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation addressed the issues raised by the ICPC regarding the personnel budget of some of our federal tertiary hospitals. We also observed the difficulty faced by tertiary hospitals in obtaining approvals, waivers, and financial clearance for the recruitment of exited staff, particularly clinical staff. With the exodus of staff or retirements or exits by the end of their training, most teaching hospitals have not been able to obtain the necessary financial clearance from the budget office to replace the staff. We also observed the multiplicity of ongoing court cases regarding the relationship between pathologists and laboratory scientists in our federal tertiary hospitals. We observed the circumstances and noted the death of our colleague, Dr. Saidu Yahya Akali, the Chief Medical Director of Federal Teaching Hospital, Gombe. The committee, therefore, makes the following recommendations. The committee calls for the urgent release of funds for the payment of outsourced services in federal tertiary hospitals in order to maintain and enhance security, cleaning, ancillary essential services, and the creation of a budget line for sustainability of these payments. The committee urges the federal government to ensure full implementation of the Residency Training Act of 2017 with payment of the accrued arrears. That the federal government should review upward and ensure the prompt release of overhead for the federal tertiary hospitals for proper accountability and smooth running of the hospitals. That the process of seeking approval for replacement of exited staff, especially clinical staff, should be simplified and made expeditious so that services will not be disrupted. That the multiplicity of court cases involving the federal tertiary hospital should be harmonized and spearheaded by the Federal Ministry of Health for prompt resolution. That the federal government should fully equip and support the National Cardiac Center for Excellence at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, Enugu, to function optimally as an immediate response to the rising cases of cardiac diseases and death, while efforts is being made to develop cardiac centers and cardiac laboratories in every geopolitical zone of the Federation. A conclusion: it has sincere hope that the implementation of these recommendations will go a long way in assisting the federal government to address the numerous challenges facing the health sector in Nigeria. The meeting ended today with the election of a new ESCO. They are the chairman, Dr. Jaf Momo, the Vice Chairman and Secretary, Dr. Abdullah Ibrahim, the Treasurer, Dr. Yahya Baba Adamu, the representative of Federal Teaching Hospitals on the ESCO, Dr. Emem Basi, representative of Federal Medical Centers, Dr. Osiatuma Victor, Hospital, Dr. Osi Ogun. We want to acknowledge the presence and appreciate the Honorable Minister for coming for our meeting, listening to our dialogue, and reassuring us of the commitment of government towards ensuring the smooth running of our federal tertiary hospitals. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you very much. In which a routine visitor comes at a specified time because you know the clinic you are going and the hospital knows that you are coming on so-so date, you are scheduled for a particular time So if that clinic is seeing 50 patients or 100 patients, they don't all have to come at 7 a.m. because it means that somebody will be seen at 4 p.m. But if you spread them out over the whole period, some will come at 8 o'clock, some will come at 9, some will come at 10, some will come at 11, and so we give appointments. We will send text messages, reminder to patients for them to know when they are to come. So things are changing. Our Servicom departments are actually working on this, and we are seeing results in many centers that have already introduced this. However, one of the ways to solve this problem is that the state goes to the tertiary hospitals instead of going through the primary and secondary care. Then the burden of care is being shifted to the federal government hospitals, and this will not make them function optimally, particularly for those who are coming at the first time. And going back to the question number 2, we talked about delays in getting results. If you are an outpatient and you are sent to the lab or radiology to do any of the diagnostic tests, as an outpatient, meaning the patient is not critically ill, the department will prioritize for patients on admission and patients in emergency care who will not be sent home because they are too ill. Their tests will be done on emergency basis and results will be ready promptly. The only people that will be scheduled to collect their test results later are people who are coming back to see their doctors on another day. And it is expected that your results will be ready before your next clinic day. So this is the expectation. Again, it goes back to the issue of volume of work being done by the tertiary hospitals. It's much larger than what is done by the private hospitals. So that's why you may go to a private lab, and of course the number you will see there is drastically less than what you will see in any teaching hospital. So these are some of the things we are working on, improving efficiency, and our Servicom units are also ensuring that if there are any complaints, they are directed to them and they follow up promptly to make sure that these complaints are addressed. On the issue of cancer treatment and space for admission, the government has about 6 centers for cancer treatment, and these centers are being developed to optimum capacity. At the national hospital that you referred to, we already have 2 cancer treatment equipment running, one of them for the past 2 years and one of them in the last 1 year. So we have 2 functional equipment now. For admission capacity, the government is working on expanding the admission space in national hospital, and we have already briefed the Honorable Minister, who is trying to expedite action on the completion of the ward expansion, which will enable more people to be admitted for care. There is also a question about the fact that the minister has promised that the government will look into all the recommendations we are making, and what will the ESCO do to ensure that the actions are taken promptly. We are government appointees. Mr. President appointed us. The minister took this matter so seriously that he came for this annual general meeting by himself and spent quite some time with us to listen to our complaints and make suggestions on the way forward. And he gave us a firm promise. And we believe the minister is somebody that we are working with, and we have worked with him before. And at this level now, being the senior minister, we believe that he is going to ensure that these things are delivered and delivered promptly. And of course, the ESCO will follow up with the ministry on a regular basis and continue to brief the Honorable Minister on the progress made at the individual institutions, and collectively, where necessary, we will still put our word across. So our belief is that the Ministry of Health is able to tackle all these problems, and liaising with the Ministry of Finance and the Budget Office of the Federation, there is no problem we have presented that is insurmountable. They are well-known problems. They are not new. They can easily be addressed by the 2 ministries or 3 ministries. So it is not something that you require any undue pressure. There are things that will be done routinely. It may take a little longer in some areas, but some of them are quick wins, easily be addressed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Gaskiya mu gani ba.